me about your road trip, dude.
What do you mean? Tell me about it. Like, what do you want to know?
Dude, you went across the country and you have
Yeah.
nothing just comes back and you're like, oh, I gotta tell this.
Nothing immediately. I keep thinking about how many tweakers there are in Denver. That is like my main remembrance.
Really?
Yeah, and I have all these really fun dash cam videos that I'm gonna. I really wish that we had like a screen and I could just.
I
pull
do
them
have a
up.
video idea for that. We should just remember when we. I forgot that we used to do those game videos, and we had the green screen behind us. Well, we should do that. The same idea, but
With, like,
instead we'll have your video and us on the
dash
bottom
cam
right. Yeah.
yeah.
If that's a good idea or not, it's up to you. I know it's your footage. I don't know what's on that thing.
Yeah, there's not. No, I mean like, it's not. You're not gonna be seeing like 20 hours of footage. I already edited it down like pretty good. Got it. I mean, I'm gonna have to edit more, but
Okay. Andrew said he doesn't know the complete details of your trip, but he hoped you had fun. I'm trying to get details out of them, bro.
there's no details. It's not.
Give me I don't know. Did you hike anywhere?
Yeah, I went to Zion National Park.
Yeah.
They have this place called the Narrows. It's basically you walk for a mile or so, and then you walk up a river, and you're in the river. Like, there's no walk along the side of the river. You have to walk up the river, and the canyon walls just kind of like close in on you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's pretty gnarly.
It gets narrow. That's
pretty
why they
epic.
call it that.
What kind of tweakers did you see out there?
Out in Denver,
Yeah. Anywhere. Okay, what had more tweakers? Las Vegas?
Denver,
Denver.
100%.
Over Las Vegas.
Over Las Vegas. Las Vegas has lots of tourists, so like the percentage wise is like mostly people who are just like, oh, let's just come in here, check it
Yeah.
out, see what they got going on, and then like a couple people are locals and they're just like cracked out. But
Tweaking everywhere.
yeah, but in Denver, I think a lot of people just live in Denver,
Wow.
and they're animals. They're animals. That's
Really?
what they
Did you
are.
interact with a tweaker?
We had several interesting interactions with tweakers.
Really?
Yeah, for the first tweaker we saw was, so we went to like the gay event,
Mm-hmm.
Pride event.
Pride.
I don't really know exactly what it was called.
Parade.
It wasn't a parade though. All right. Well, point is, we went to this event because I mean, I wouldn't normally go to that like on my own.
Yeah.
But it's just like I showed up that weekend and my friends were like they're gonna go, and I was like, well, I guess
Yeah,
like I'm
let's
not
do
gonna
this.
not hang out with you because you're going to something that I don't find that interesting. But anyway, I went to that, and along the way, before we even got there, we went to a Starbucks,
Oh no.
and in this. There's nothing bad about a
That's
Starbucks.
where
It's like,
all
oh
the
no.
tweakers stay.
Yeah, well, that's true. We were. First of all, they're all like a bunch of drunk teenagers. They're like 19 and 20,
Yeah.
completely intoxicated in this Starbucks, just making a bunch of noise. And then there's this other lady who just walks up and she's like all meek and stuff, and she's just like, "Can I hang out with you guys?"
No way.
And I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna have to ask them. I don't really run
Are you
this."
for real? She just walked up and asked
Mhm.
if you could.
And
could
she
hang
like
out.
just had this look in her eye, like she was just like,
Are you for real?
yes, that's exactly what. And then we let her just kind of wander around with us for a while.
How old was she?
She's older, like probably, I don't know, 30, 40.
Did you catch her on footage or anything?
Yeah,
You did.
a little bit.
Is she on that
She's on-
thing you
she's-
just posted or no?
Yeah, she's in that.
I gotta look at that later.
There's nothing. It's not that interesting to. If you weren't there, it's not that interesting to watch.
I just want to see it though. I just want to see the person you're talking about.
You'll see her. She's like a.
Noticeable.
Yeah, well, not really. I kind of just like look at her for like a second. I wonder how close. I wonder what kind of sound. No.
All right.
What?
Cracked out lady at Starbucks.
Oh, I
and
can't
then
believe
she
I haven't
became
gotten
your
past
friend.
that. Yeah, no.
No, I'm keeping this story alive.
I basically. So we were at the Starbucks. She was like, "Can we be a friend?" I was like, "Okay." I didn't really say yes, but she kind of just started following us around. Someone must have said, "Yeah, you can hang out with us."
Nobody said yes.
I think somebody said yes because I don't know. I didn't know anybody really, so I was just kind of like, "You guys do your own thing," like whatever. You do you.
Can I butt in real quick?
Yeah.
It's a good thing we know that thing can't withstand heat, just in case if we ever go to skate parks or something like that.
Yeah, just have it not
We
cooking
know
in the sun.
We know now.
You should put it in a box. Like, just have it not directly contact the
good
sun.
idea. Okay, back on.
So she got on the bus with us, which is weird.
He's in for the long haul, bro.
I don't know when we lost her, but eventually she disappeared, and that was fine. That was okay. Like, whoever was talking to her did not want to talk to her anymore.
Yeah.
And then I guess once we got off the bus, she didn't get off or something. I don't know.
Oh, so you saw a tweaker. She followed you around.
And then she stopped following us around. It wasn't that interesting. That one wasn't that interesting.
And where was that?
There was more tweakers. What?
Where was that? That was Denver.
I was
or
in Denver.
Denver.
I was in Denver.
So, but how was Las Vegas?
Las Vegas was pretty cool.
That's the farthest place that you went on this road
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, it was. Las Vegas was pretty tight. Let me tell you about the other tweakers in Denver first.
Maybe there's more.
There were no tweakers really that I had noticed that were memorable
Yeah.
in Vegas, but in
I find
Denver
that to be wild.
there were lots of crazy people in Denver.
So what about these other tweakers? These other crackheads?
One of them, there was just this one guy who I guess he came up to me and was like, "You have a cigarette?" And I was like,
Ooh.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, darn." Oh. Like he seemed really disappointed about it. He kept like repeatedly being like, "Oh."
Like real sad. You ruined his day.
Yeah, they kept moaning and groaning about it.
Did he just stand there? Just keep moaning and groaning, standing there?
After that, he just started following us around. He just, like, for 15 minutes,
Whoa.
walking behind us.
And who were you with?
I was with Eileen and, like, 5 friends.
Okay. Were you like the only guy, or was there other?
There were 2 gay men.
So I'm gonna be real with you. You were the only one, other than the 2 other gay gentlemen that were would have to defend themselves against some tweakers.
This guy was also big. Like, he was not, like, big. I think
You could take him.
I could take him, but he was like, he
was
was tall. He was, like, a skinny, tall guy.
Was there any point in time when you were like, I'm going to throw down with this guy right now?
No,
if he doesn't cool?
I honestly stopped paying attention to him immediately.
Really? You just stopped
Yeah.
giving him attention?
I just didn't even think about him anymore. I was like, okay, whatever. He can walk around behind
Yeah.
us. Like, this isn't.
Who cares?
It's not like any information. Like, what is gonna happen?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna attack us out in the middle of public. Like, there's tons of people everywhere.
That's true.
And then at a certain point, Eileen just like looked at him and went like, "Can you f off?" And just-
Really?
yeah. Like Eileen just really suddenly got
Wow.
very pointy about it, which is, I guess, fine because it's like, you're a
She
girl
probably
getting
deals with
followed
that
around.
though. If she like lives, does she live there?
Yeah, she lives in Denver.
She probably has to deal with that kind of stuff.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. I'm like,
She
yeah,
probably knows
the
what
amount
to
of
do.
tweakers I saw in those 2 days.
Yeah. Was the most you probably have ever seen.
It was so many
Back to
tweakers.
back.
I mean, like, Baltimore doesn't have those kinds of tweakers.
Mm-mm.
We have weird people.
Baltimore tweakers are straight up like ask you a question. If you say no,
They just go.
they throw down. There's a 50-50 chance they might just throw down with you.
50-50 chance you get shot dead on the spot.
Yeah. There's a lot going on. Like if you see a tweaker in Baltimore, you're like playing chess with them right now. Do I say no? Do I say yes? Do I run away?
Do I run?
What's going to go on?
He's gonna beat me in chess.
Are there
for
cameras?
sure.
Am I in a public place? But she probably knows what to do. You know what I mean? You've been down. She's been living there long enough. She knows what to do.
Yeah.
Just be blunt about it.
Well, he got. He did not like that response at all.
Really? What do you
Yeah,
do?
he just like, he was like, I'm just gonna hang. And then he like started trying to, and she was like, no, you're gonna leave. You're
You
leaving.
need to
You're
go
leaving.
away. How
right
old
now."
was this guy?
And he just started like flipping her off and like
What?
yelled you at her and walked away. I don't know.
Wow. How old was this guy?
I don't know. He was not much older than me, like
Really, like 25?
25, 30. The other lady she looked older, but she might have been around the same age.
That's ridiculous.
And then a third tweaker. Maybe even 4, depending on how you look at it.
Okay.
Later, I think this was actually the second day of like the gay event.
Mm-hmm.
It was towards the end of the day, and this guy came up to us and was like, "Can you help me? This guy's following me. Like I don't know what's going on."
Wow.
And the other guy was like, "I'm not following him." And he was like, "Yeah, he's really weird. I don't know what's happening." Yeah, and then I was like, okay."
Were you like the only group of people around?
I guess we were just the nearest group of people.
Yeah.
And the other guy was like, "This is literally my boyfriend." and then the guy who was coming up to us was like, "This guy's so weird. I don't know what's happening." Like,
What?
and we're like, "Okay, like go away." Like, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, and then the guy just took off running.
No way.
The guy who was
He's
following
booked
the
it?
guy. He started sprinting in the other direction.
He just left.
he
Just straight up left.
sprinted away. But I mean, like we were walking with the one guy who asked us to help him.
Yeah.
And
Was he cool or was he
I mean,
like?
he was weird, but we got pretty much to the exit, and then we had split up at this point. The other guy, like
The follower?
the follower, found the guy again.
What?
Yeah, and we were like, "What is going on here? This is not right." So I don't know. He like came back over to us,
Really?
and I was like, "What is going on?" And the guy took off sprinting again.
What time
The
is it?
second time. It's like midday. I mean,
Oh.
it's like probably 6.
That's still pretty like early for
Like the sun was out.
creeps to be out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was very weird. And then the guy was like, "Okay, well, he is my ex-boyfriend." I was like, "Okay, well, you could have."
So it's true.
coulda led with
so
that.
He could have been.
Yeah.
He was a boyfriend at the time.
Which is why I'm like, you guys are both really weird. Like, there's
Yeah. That's messed up.
for one, you should have led with that. Like, you should have been like, "This is my ex-boyfriend. Like,
And he's
just following
psychotic.
me around. He's being weird. And like, I
Yeah.
don't want to deal with this." Instead of just being like, "This is a random guy chasing me."
What? That's so weird.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
gotta be careful with that kind of stuff because people are getting smart. They'll like make up some fake story and then jump you for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't pay any attention to anything. I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing the exact same thing I was gonna do.
Yeah.
You're not gonna really change my plans.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
That's-
Were those two guys do you have a fourth tweaker or did you count
Outside of the event, I mean, there were
a lot of
there were
weirdos?
more tweakers. Like there were plenty of minor tweakers around.
I can't believe
There was like one lady who was laying on the ground in like a pool of vomit,
Oh my god.
and the guy next to her was just like yelling stuff periodically. Just we were waiting at one of the-
English or
he was in English. We were just at a stop, one of those buttons you press to a crosswalk,
yeah.
and he was. The two were just sitting there, and she was literally like, making weird sounds, and the guy was just
a
like
zombie.
every once in a while. I was like,
That's so
I don't like, is he yelling at us? Like,
weird. So weird.
what is
dude.
happening? And then in that same spot, another guy walked up to us
What?
and was just like, started saying really weird stuff, talking about the Grateful Dead. Like,
What?
I don't know. He must have been on acid or something. Like,
Yeah.
he was just like, "Hey guys,
Oh,
you
yeah,
like the
he's-
Grateful Dead?"
He's acid.
I was like-
for sure.
Like, kinda. I don't know.
What's it look like to you, buddy?